to use a bread machine. 7 easy steps to your loaf goals. When it comes to baking fresh bread, nothing beats the convenience and consistency of a bread machine. For many of us, the aroma of freshly baked bread evokes memories of warmth, comfort, and homeliness. While hand kneading and oven baking have their own charm, modern bread machines simplify the process, ensuring perfect loaves every time. They combine the art of traditional bread making with the ease of modern technology. Yet, mastering the use of a bread machine can be a tad overwhelming for novices. From selecting the right ingredients to choosing the appropriate settings, there's a world of knowledge to be explored. So, in this video, we will dive deep into the intricacies of using a bread machine, offering tips and insights to transform even the most hesitant beginners into confident bread machine bakers. Is a bread machine worth it? Bread machines have gained popularity for their convenience and ability to produce consistent results. They are especially valued for their time-saving properties, allowing users to simply add ingredients and let the machine handle the kneading, rising, and baking processes. Additionally, bread machines offer built-in periods to stop mixing, allowing dough to rest, which can be an advantage over manual mixing. Financially, making bread at home with a machine can be cheaper in the long run, as homemade bread can be more cost-effective than store-bought varieties. However, it's worth noting that bread machines aren't immune to problems and can produce varied results based on ingredient quality and machine settings. Despite this, many users find the investment in a bread machine worthwhile for the convenience and quality it offers. Components of a bread machine. 1. Bread pan or tin. This is the main container in which the bread is baked. It's often non-stick to prevent the bread from adhering to its sides and bottom. The design is made to be removable for ease of cleaning and for taking the bread out once baked. 2. Mixing paddles. These are essential components located inside the bread pan. Their primary function is to knead the dough, ensuring a thorough mix of the ingredients. In many bread machines, the paddles can be detached, making them easier to clean. 3. Heating elements. Every bread machine is equipped with heating elements that help achieve the necessary temperatures for different baking stages, from the initial rise of the dough to the final baking of the bread. The accurate working of these elements ensures that the bread is baked evenly throughout. 4. Control panel and display. This is the interface through which users can select various settings for baking their bread. Options can include the type of bread, crust color, and other custom baking modes. Most modern bread machines are equipped with digital displays that provide feedback and show the timer countdown. 5. Lid with viewing window. Many bread machines feature a lid that has an integrated viewing window. This design lets users monitor the progress of their bread without opening the machine, thus preventing loss of heat. The transparent window ensures that the user can check on the bread's status at any stage of the baking process. 6. Temperature sensors. These components are critical in ensuring the bread machine maintains an optimal temperature during the baking process. They continually monitor the internal temperature and relay this information to the control panel. This feedback mechanism prevents overbaking or underbaking of the bread. 7. Timer and delay functions. These features provide flexibility to users by allowing them to decide when they want their bread to start baking. For instance, someone can set the machine at night and wake up to freshly baked bread in the morning, thanks to the delay start feature. 8. Venting system. During the baking process, steam is generated inside the bread machine. The venting system ensures that this steam is released appropriately. This is crucial for maintaining the right humidity levels inside the machine, which in turn affects the texture and crust of the bread. 9. Motor. The motor is responsible for powering the mixing paddles. It is designed to handle varying dough consistencies, ensuring that the kneading process is both effective and efficient. 10. Safety features. Modern bread machines incorporate various safety features to ensure user safety. This includes mechanisms like auto shutoff in cases of overheating and lid locks that prevent accidental opening during the baking process. Step-by-step guide on using a bread machine. 1. Gathering your ingredients. For our basic yeast bread recipe, you'll need the following ingredients. 3 to 3.5 cups of bread flour. I recommend using a high-quality brand for better bread consistency. 1 packet of active dry yeast. 1 to 1.5 cups of warm water. 1 tablespoon of sugar. 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 tablespoons of oil or melted butter. Having a digital kitchen scale at hand can make measuring your dry ingredients much more accurate, ensuring a perfect loaf of bread every time. Prepping your bread maker. Before you start mixing the dough, make sure your bread maker's baking pan and kneading blade are clean and properly placed. This step is crucial because the machine will mix, knead, proof, and bake your bread all in one container. 3. Mixing the dough. Starting with liquids. Pour the warm water into the bread maker's baking pan, followed by the oil or melted butter. Adding dry ingredients. Layer your bread flour, sugar, and salt over the wet ingredients. Make sure they're evenly spread out. This step is critical because in yeast bread recipes, you want to keep the yeast separate from the salt and sugar until the mixing process begins. Incorporating the yeast. Make a small well in the center of your dry ingredients and carefully pour in your active dry yeast. Setting your bread maker. Once your ingredients are in place, it's time to set up and use your bread maker. Most bread machines have multiple settings for different types of bread. Choose the setting that matches your bread recipe, usually labeled basic or white bread. If your machine has a crust color option, you can select between light, medium, or dark, depending on your preference. I recommend starting with medium for a well-balanced crust. If you want to delay the baking process, some machines offer a delay timer. However, I recommend baking immediately after preparing the ingredients to get the freshest results. 5. Start the machine. After setting your preferences, press the start button and let your bread maker do the hard work. It will mix, knead, proof, and bake your bread in a span of 3 to 4 hours, depending on your machine and settings. 6. The art of proofing. Proofing is the process where the yeast ferments the dough, causing it to rise. The bread maker automates this process, ensuring the bread dough rises in a warm and consistent environment. During the proofing stage, avoid opening the machine's lid or moving the bread maker to ensure an even rise. 7. Baking the bread. Once the bread dough has risen, your bread maker will automatically transition to the baking phase. This stage usually lasts about an hour. As the bread bakes, your kitchen will fill with a delicious aroma that's hard to resist. However, it's essential to let the machine complete the full baking cycle for the best results. 8. Cooling and enjoying your bread. When the baking cycle is complete, carefully remove the baking pan from the bread maker using oven mitts. Transfer the loaf of bread to a wire rack and let it cool for at least 30 minutes. This cooling period allows the bread's structure to set, ensuring a better texture when sliced. Final thoughts. Mastering the art of bread making with a machine requires patience and some essential bread machine tips. Always use bread flour for optimal results, as it has a higher protein content suitable for bread machines. Familiarize yourself with the dough cycle, especially if you want to shape and bake the bread outside the machine. This feature allows for flexibility in making different bread types. It's crucial to make your bread according to the manufacturer's instructions and recipes, especially when starting. Over time, you'll get to know your machine and understand its quirks and nuances, which will lead to consistently delicious results every time.